Hey.
We're on?
Yep.
Hey everybody! Welcome to episode 3 of PrimeTime Kitchen's How Tuesdays. Tonight we're going to make something that you can make. We got a little weird reaction to the crab cake scallop. Tori pointed out, like, not everybody likes seafood. So we're going with pork dish. Everybody likes pork chops. Man, if you live in the South, pork chops are the thing. We're going to step it up a little bit tonight. We're going to do some stuffed pork chops. We're also going to do some honey glazed baby organic carrots. And that's pretty much going to be our meal. We're also going to do a little surprise dessert, which is kind of weird. We're going to do it backwards. We're going to start off different tonight. So you'll see here we have some sherry wine. We have some breadcrumbs. We have some mushrooms. We have some beautiful carrots we got this afternoon. Of course, some great pork chops and a lot of other cool stuff. But first things first. So we're going to do this thing called, it's called Thai coconut sweet sticky rice and mango.
My fave.
It's a simple recipe, and the cool thing is Tori absolutely loves it, and it's a really different kind of take on like dessert. It's a really neat thing because simply it's different. So tonight what we're going to do is we have a cup of, this is sushi rice. Okay, so you can get it at any grocery store. This came from the rice bin at Whole Foods or whatever. You really don't have to get it there. A bag sushi rice is great. I think it's like $5 a bag or whatever. Here's the key. Here's what it took me 6 bags of rice to learn. Tori's laughing at me because she knows. 6 bags of rice that it took me to learn. So to get the right consistency, and what's going to happen, guys, we're going to cook this in a cup of coconut milk, a cup of water, and about a half a cup or so, maybe 3/4 of a cup of sugar. So that's what we're going to cook. That's what makes it sweet and sticky. But the thing is this starts to release that starch. It's basically going to turn into pudding. So if you ever had rice pudding, which is rice cooked to the point where it just turns gelatinous, imagine that with like sweetened coconut milk. That's the basis for our dessert tonight. That's kind of the building one. So we're going to take a cup of this, and the reason why I need to learn is this has to be washed.
A lot.
And it has to be washed. So actually save this process for you guys. So what we do is we just put it in a big old tin or the stainless steel bowl, right? And you basically take cold water, seriously, and you just basically rinse it over. And I'm going to walk over. You can stay right where you are. You get some water, get it in there, and you're going to notice that this rice immediately, this water turns absolutely milky white. I'm throwing out the grains of rice that came from the rice pan next to it. So you'll see, like we have this rice, and we're going to mix that. It's going to stir it. You can see that just turning that milky white, right? Right. So if you go slow enough, you know what you're doing. You can actually make that rice pause, right? And you can pour out that starchy water like that without pouring out any of your rice beans. You're basically going to do that again.
How many times?
So it takes about, really, to be honest with you, I like to do it about 4 or 5 times. It really doesn't take that long to do because all you do is just give it a good washing like that and then let it settle and then pour it out. That's simple. So we're going to do it about 4 or 5 times. We want as much of that, because here's the thing, it's just going to make your dish better. When you get all that starch off the rice or all that coating off that rice, it just makes it cook better. Like when I would do it 100 times before, it would cook like a normal grain of rice. It wouldn't have that real good, soft, odd bite that comes with this dish. You can still see that water is still milky white. It's only a cup. So we're really not doing that much rice. I believe our cup will make, a cup's going to make like 4 servings. So you're only serving like, seriously, you're only serving like not maybe a 1/4 cup of this rice with half of a mango. This is really kind of a flavor thing. And it's just weird how these simple flavors blend together, and they take the most simplest of ingredients and make it pretty darn magical. So we're going to add a little bit more water to it here. And I'm going to let this sit for a second, and I'm going to get our coconut milk started in our water mixture. We're going to let that just rinse out by itself. So using the same old cup, I've already got my thing heated here, my pan. Cold water, 1 cup. My old school Tupperware, you like that? Dude, I think that's literally like 1973, right? So I opened up this can of coconut milk. Guys, again, I'm not going to be that pretentious guy, but I'm going to tell you straight up, the organic thing is for real. This is a better product than not organic. It cooks better, it tastes better, the flavor is more authentic, and it just is a better product altogether. So we're going to get plenty of that coconut milk fat right in there. Actually, I'm going to add a little bit more.
How much was that?
It's a cup of each. So it's a cup of organic, non-sweetened coconut milk, right? And it's a cup of water. So I'm gonna mix that together real quick, and then we're gonna add in some sugar. Now you can see how scientific this is. This is exactly how I would do it.
About how much is that?
That's going to be about half a cup or 3/4 of a cup. And like with anything, like when you're making your sweet tea at home, what do? You don't measure out every time. You get it in here, you get it mixed up. Needs a little bit more sugar. Right, so we're going to put a little bit more in there. I can double dip in my house, guys. I can double dip in my own house. Don't worry.
So when's the cookbook coming?
Oh, come on, guys. Guys are killing me with cooking. That's perfect. So we're going to let that get up to heat. We're going to rinse the final rinse on our rice. And you can see, look at the difference in the water already.
Yep.
It's so different, right? So I had that wash. Let that settle down. It doesn't matter if a little water stays in there. I started doing this originally. I did it with a sieve. Don't need to. It's got water in there. It's going to be fine. You're going to be perfect. Everything's going to be cool. The rest of this dish actually is going to come together pretty quickly. So what we're going to do now is this. We have our cast iron. We're going to put that on pause. Cast iron's up there. Because we have to make our stuffing first, okay? Mm-hmm. So we're going to make our stuffing. Stuffing is basically breadcrumbs, veggies, herbs, stuff. We're going to do a little twist to it, though, okay? We're going to add a little, oh, man.
Oh, what are you drinking?
Where's your wine? Where's your wine?
Oh.
Oh, look. So we love Red Cypress Brewery. And the reason we love Red Cypress Brewery because they're down with Tom and Dan, who we adore. Thank you.
And
tips.
Tip touch.
So we love this Devil's Chair. We think it's one of the best locally brewed beers. We're trying to feature some local beers. You want to have your beer featured, just get with us, PrimetimeKitchen@gmail.com. And we love this beer. I think this is the premier beer out of their brewery. Again, it's so subjective, but I know that this is pretty popular, and we like it. If you haven't been there, a cool facility. It's in Winter Springs, and it's one of the OG breweries in the city. Red Cypress, good guys, and they brew a damn good beer. Here's to you guys. We appreciate this very much.
Cheers.
Cheers, kids. Got to be careful of those things. It will put you in the damn Devil's Chair for sure. All right. So we're going to make some stuffing. First things first with stuffing, we're going to get our heat going. Pan a little hot. As you can see, I've already chopped up about a half an onion. All right. I'm going to go ahead and do some more technique stuff for you guys because you guys liked it when I chopped stuff last time, so we'll do that again. A lot of people, chefs get weird when you do this, that little drag across the skin, because you wind up getting that extra part, and you take up an entire thing of the onion. If you'll notice, like I just barely scored the skin with my blade, and it comes off pretty easily. We cut onions like this. I don't know if you guys caught the first couple episodes. In half, all right? So we're going to go, and we want to keep these knuckles in. We're going to ride that knuckle all the way in. Don't worry about that. We'll put there, no problem. And just because they fell apart, we don't have to worry about it now. We can just kind of scoop them together. And we're going to go across the grain and cut these little cubes. And you can see we want to keep our... Just keep your fingers in. And you'll notice as you start to cut veggies like this, you'll learn how to spit the vegetable out with your fingers as you pinch it to get it out. And what I'm noticing, it's like if you do that, it goes across. It actually, the damn thing will squirt right out. I find it really good with garlic. So this one stayed together for us. Simple onion. And you want to rock your knife. Don't do that if you don't mind. It's going to cut better if you give it a little thing. We're going to run through right there. These are Shun knives, S-H-U-N. Get them at Wassie's Meats. We love those guys, of course. Presenting sponsor PTK. So we have our garlic here. With garlic, really, to be honest with you, just chop it up, man. There's no rhyme or reason. I know a lot of the Italian guys, based on the movie, a lot of the families like to really cut this stuff thin. To be honest with you, my family likes it in giant chunks. When I say my family, turn the camera.
Me.
That one likes giant. Garlic crazy. So we're going to leave it kind of giant chunky. How do you like that? I'm dealing with fresh herbs tonight. I don't mind cooking with dry herbs. I've done it a lot of times. I like cooking with dry herbs. This is fresh. These are fresh herbs because the fresh thyme in this dish really goes crazy. It really does. So I'll run the ingredients for our stuffing tonight. We have breadcrumbs. We have onion. We have garlic. We have fresh sage. Sage, by the way, of course, is built for pork. It's what makes sausage, really. We have some fresh thyme, salt and pepper, okay? We have some mushrooms. And here's the magic ingredient I'm talking about.
What are you doing? What's wrong? What's in there?
Boom! Heavy cream. Okay. Now, you can or cannot with heavy cream. It does not matter. Okay, we're boiling there. So we're going to go ahead and get our rice in. Because once this starts cooking, guys, you can kind of leave it alone. It's just going to wind up, you're just going to boil it for a few minutes. And then you're going to turn it down to simmer. And you want this to just kind of percolate, really. Honestly, that's what you want. You just want to kind of bubble.
What temperature is it?
Now, we have to bring the coconut water and the water to a boil, right? You bring it to a boil to get it up to heat. Then when you incorporate your rice in, it's gonna cool it down, and then it'll eventually come back up to heat. So what I do is I start it on high to get it to boil, and I've turned it down to about 8 now on an electric stove, so it's like medium high, and I'm already getting bubbles, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it way down to like 3. I'm gonna stir it a little bit. I'm gonna put a lid right on it.
Everybody loves garlic as much as I do.
Everybody loves garlic. Well, you're in the right house, kids, because we're Garlicville, USA.
We are garlic crazy.
Okay, the cool thing about this stuffing, and has anybody there made stuffing, like homemade stuffing, or do you always buy it like stovetop?
They probably make it.
No.
Let's see.
Here's the thing: don't buy stovetop. Because
stovetop is so good though.
No. I ain't mad. Nobody hating on stovetop, okay? Come on, man. Ain't nobody hating on stovetop. But here's the thing: if you can make it at home, and you can add things to it, you can make it better. You can, like, we were gonna do apples in this tonight, but I decided to do something else.
Homemade from scratch, homemade. Stovetop. I like it, Gwen.
And again,
F stovetop.
Family.
Somebody needs an apron. Where can they get that apron, baby?
You can go to ptkradio.com. That's our website. We do have a merch area up there with some glassware. We have some tumblers up there and some other stuff. And if you guys want to get that, we do have a new release T-shirt coming out. That's actually pretty cool. We're kind of ramping up the T-shirts. Let's get this on real quick.
Okay.
So we're gonna do our onions in, guys. Did you see that mechanism measure I had there? Listen, it's up to you. What do you like? Do you like a lot of onion? Do you like a lot of garlic? Do you like a lot of that? You don't need to worry about that. It's all on you. My family happens to be crazy about garlic, all right? This is on high heat. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook these. You can see these things becoming translucent already, all right? And the garlic, you have to be very careful. Most cooks would not put the garlic in the same time as the onion. And I wouldn't have either, but I've had 9 beers today. No, so what happens is the garlic actually cooks a little faster than the onion, and you don't want the garlic to burn because it makes everything bitter. We don't really have to worry about this now because we're just basically going to sweat these things down and get the color. If you'll notice, they kind of start turning a little clear. That's called translucent, and that's kind of what we're going for. If you don't keep them moving, they will char, and in this dish, we really don't want to caramelize the onion. We just want to sweat it so we get that good onion flavor, and we don't want it turning sweet.
Somebody said pour some beer in there.
I don't want to pour any beer in there. Stop telling me how to do my thing, man. What are you doing? So, we have some mushrooms.
Yep.
In with the mushrooms. Okay. Now this is probably about a cup, half a cup of mushrooms.
Okay.
You don't have to cut them super crazy, whatever. You can see these are rough chop because this is going inside our pork chop.
Yep.
So again, we're going to sweat this down. We want these mushrooms to just start to release you guys know when you cook mushrooms, they start to release liquid. That's exactly what's going to happen. So we're going to just cook those for a few minutes, and they'll naturally start sweating that water or whatever. Once that happens, that's when we start building it with our breadcrumbs. And you see how we kind of layer this thing up. But I promise you, when we add the last important ingredient, you're going to love it. Now, normally I would have done this with butter. This would all be with butter because it just adds flavor. We did it olive oil tonight because my girl's not down for all that butter. We're going to have a little butter later. We don't want it.
What beer is that?
This is Devil's Chair from Red Cypress Brewery in Winter Springs, Florida. Right off of 434.
So good.
Cool place to have a drink.
Why don't you pass me that wine?
Let me get that to you. There, videographer.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have our coconut rice cooking here. And if you can show them if you want. It's actually a little bit hot, so we're gonna. And actually, because we get this kind of going a little bit early, we're gonna move it around a little bit. A lot of guys don't do that. They like to steam it. I'd move on around. So we're gonna turn it down to low.
What if you're in a no mushroom house?
What if you're in a no mushroom house? You take mushrooms out.
Okay.
If you're in a no garlic house, guess what? I mean, you can see how that equation works. Now, Mushrooms are in good shape right now. Breadcrumbs. There's not a measurement. This is about wet and not wet, really. So what we're going to do is take these panko.
All right.
Right?
Hold on. Calm down. A little crazy.
Not measuring, and here's why. Don't stop it with the recipe thing with me, guys. For real, stop it. Do you see how that's still wet? We want it a little bit drier than that. You'll know why in a second. I'll tell you the consistency you want. So do it by this. And you're like, no, I've got too many breadcrumbs. You do not have too many breadcrumbs. You're fine. So here's what happens when you get that mixture right. And I think we're going to go with that. That's enough for about 3 chops. That turned out to probably be about half a cup, maybe a cup, all right?
Okay.
You can always add more if you need to.
All right.
So when you hit the breadcrumbs with this is the important thing. Toast these things a little bit, man.
Okay.
Get some flavor out of it. You know, if you just dead breadcrumbs, so we're going to bring a toast, so we're going to keep these moving. In reality, what I would do with those home, I would toss that like I would toss any veggies. I would let it sit for a minute. I would toss it again. I'd let it sit for a minute. I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to hit our herbs. I've got some fresh sage here.
Let me see how you're cutting that up.
I got some fresh sage. I got some fresh thyme. Now, when you do thyme, obviously you grab it here, pull it across, and there are your leaves. Now, try not to put the stems in. There are guys at really good restaurants that they're paid to just stand there and pull leaves of thyme off that. I don't do that. There's probably going to be a couple stems. With sage, it's weird. I don't know if it bruises like basil or not. I know that basil can do that, but we're going to do a chiffonade anyway because it kind of looked good. Chiffonade is basically we're going to stack these leaves. All right. Sage is beautiful, by the way, guys. Oh, my God. Roll them up. Going to hold them down like that. See how I'm spitting that herb out so I don't get my fingers in there? Check it out. It's called a chiffonade. So you get these nice long strings, and that looks kind of cool in our pork chop. So we're going to leave it just like that, okay? So we're still toasting our breadcrumbs, and they're not quite where I want them yet. I actually like them to be almost dry to the point where they move around the pan almost like it's non-stick. We're not far away. Rice is looking good. Now, when I get this stuffing done, we're going to pause before we do the pork chops. Because believe it or not, in a 350-degree oven, when I butterfly those pork chops and put that stuffing in, they're going to cook pretty quickly because we're going to sear them on the stove. We're going to sear them in our cast iron. Then we're going to stuff them, and then they're going to go on a sheet in the oven. Now, they're going to cook in like 20, 25 minutes, but my carrots are going to take longer. So I've got these beautiful carrots, and as soon as we get our stuffing done, we'll bring the carrots over, and we'll show you how we're going to make our carrots. Super simple, delicious way to make carrots. The problem with carrots, like a lot of people when they were kids, they get the same carrots everybody got. Your grandmother, your mom steamed them or cooked them to the point where they were mush and they sucked. Carrots are a beautiful, gorgeous vegetable that you need to cook kind of al dente so they still have a little crunch in there. And they have this gorgeous sweetness. And let me tell you something. When I plate this tonight with these gorgeous rainbow, multicolored carrots, kind of looks like a parsnip, you'll see what I'm talking about. They're going to look great on the plate. They offer a sweetness to this really savory dish that we really kind of need. All right? So crumbs are good. Let's get our herbs in.
Is coconut rice good for everyday meals?
What's that?
Coconut rice.
What do you mean by everyday meals? You mean like to have with chicken or something? I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't do it. Okay, herbs are in.
Yep.
All right. So, chicken stock. So we're going to put some chicken stock in here. This is not my organic, but it'll work. And this is where the stuffing, this is where the breadcrumbs start soaking up the liquid. We're going to cook the liquid down. You can see, like, wow, it's like a soup, man. That's going to turn into, that's going to go away pretty quickly. And you can already smell those herbs coming to life when that's being steamed through that chicken stock. And what the stock does is give us great body. Now, since we have our stock simmering out, we're going to add our seasoning.
Yep.
There's going to be salt.
Yep.
Probably about half a teaspoon. Pepper. We already have garlic in. There's only salt and pepper, guys. That's it. Salt and pepper, good. All right, salt and pepper. Coming together nice. Now, we actually do want to cook some of that chicken stock out of there. All right? Because we want the flavor soaking into the bread.
Okay.
As you can see that already, right?
Yep.
So with those beautiful herbs, we got that nice breadcrumbs, the onions, the mushrooms, the garlic, and now the magic is
cream.
Heavy whipping cream. You know what cream does, guys? Cream just adds this beautiful texture and silkiness And of course, richness to the dish. You don't need a lot. So that's probably about a tablespoon there.
Always organic?
We've been eating organic just because the flavor. I just noticed the flavor is so much better. And you can see already, pretty much, guys, there's your stuffing for our pork chops tonight. We're going to let that cook for a second. I want to get that. I want to turn my heat off.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to leave it going because I'm going to have to put my cast iron on there in 1 second anyway.
Okay.
So basically, that is done. We're going to get our carrots on. Now, we are preheated our oven. I need to taste this real quick now.
Good? More salt?
A little bit more salt.
Okay.
All right, so stuffing inside. We actually need that to cool down a little bit. I probably should put that in something else. All right, carrots.
Yeah.
Carrots, carrots, carrots. So these carrots, you don't have to use these. This is a tricolor carrot. As you start to cook a little bit, you want things to look nice. If you're going to take some time and money to build a dish, you want to have it look good. So you could do this with regular everyday carrots. Here's where you're going to have a problem. If you get the big old bag of carrots, like the ones that everybody gets, cut them in half or quarter them to do this dish, okay? Because it's going to take a long time, and by the time the center is even close to being done, the outside's going to turn into a mess. That's why I love this size right here. And think about it, the base of it's about the size of a quarter, okay? If you look at it, that's a real good size because they still give you good crunch, but yet you get that good, you'll see, that good crispy kind of honey texture we're going to get on the outside. We actually will get a little bit of a crisp from the honey.
What's the beverage?
The beverage is Devil's Chair. That's from, my goodness, I'm killing it. Red Cypress Brewery. My God, I said it 15 times already. It is delicious. So we want to just trim. He's coming with a bun. Okay. By the way, let me tell you something real quick. Although we got these at Whole Foods, and you can get these at Whole Foods, let me tell you what they have. So Publix, over where you would get your where the vegetables are, there are the bagged veggies. They have multicolor baby carrots already dressed, ready to go. They actually even have them in steamer bags, and that's what I used before this. We used that carrot bag because it was just easier. Then we found these, and of course, you can already see, you know, just the way that the carrots look. I mean, there's just a certain quality of these carrots you're not going to get in a bag like that. We would give these a quick wash. I don't always wash my vegetables. I probably should every time because, you know, you just get some stuff, especially if it's stuff like this where it comes from the farm. You want it to look nice. So we're going to give them a quick little wash, make sure these stems are nice, because look, when we do these stems, they're going to kind of be showing in the dish. It's going to make it look good. So you want it to look nice.
They're asking if you cook the rice in the coconut milk.
Yes, you cook it in a mixture of, it's 1-to-1 coconut milk and water with about 3/4 cup of sugar. And I just use regular old sugar. I mean, nothing special, nothing organic, just regular old sugar. That's all we did.
Okay.
So again, I've got another bunch of these because we have to feed my daughter who eats like a lumberjack tonight. Oh my God Almighty!
She's our volleyball player.
Oh my God Almighty! A stone cold killer of my food budget is what she is. The good thing about this dish here is because, you know, once it gets going, I love using the oven during the week. By the way, the oven during the week, because look, we have busy schedules. We work just like you guys. I've got a neat job. It's odd. Tori has a regular job. She doesn't get home until 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So we like to keep it relatively simple and use the oven during the week because the oven saves us time. And that way when Tori gets home, we can kind of maximize our time together. Now this is a little different than oven-centric simply because we're using the stovetop as well.
So are the carrots blowing up in the world right now?
Carrots are blowing the AF. Carrots are blowing AF.
Why didn't you hand me that wine behind you?
You're showing me the wine. You need to keep track of your wine, dude. All right, so what are we going to do with these? See these crazy, look at that, how crazy that looks. We're keeping that on there because seriously, when we put this on the plate, these crazy carrots are going everywhere, it's going to look great. Here's how simple this is. They're a little wet already, all right?
Darlene Kelly said her niece played volleyball with Caitlin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who's that?
She must have played for college.
Just a drizzling of olive oil.
Yep.
And really, it's weird because it doesn't almost. It's kind of odd how the olive oil works. Almost on as a non-stick. We use local honey.
Yeah.
Winter Park honey. Hey, local honey. You can get this at the farmers market in Winter Park. It's every Saturday. By the way, that's a pretty badass. It's a pretty badass farmers market. Honey in.
Or at Whole Foods as well.
Say honey. All right. So. Okay. Pretty simple. Coconut milk plus it's mine, Tor. Alright. Carrots on. Now, here is what a lot of people do not understand about using sweets when they cook. I don't mind that little bit of water, by the way.
Do you have a single brother?
I don't have a single brother. I killed him.
In the womb?
He's in my
In the womb?
He's in my dead. I killed him dead.
Stop talking like that.
Even with the little mix, still going to lose a little bit. I like to do a little drizzle, nothing crazy. Of honey. Because we're going to turn them. And most importantly, guys, balance, like everything in life. Got to have balance, which means we have to have a little salt on there, okay? Salt makes sweet that much better, right? So we're going to end the oven. That's 350. We're going to use the bottom rack because we're going to use the top rack to cook our pork chops, which we're going to go ahead and butterfly now. Let me clean up a little bit, grab a drink. You guys don't mind, do you?
Hey, are you going to post the recipes anywhere? They feel like it's an online pearl party.
Have you guys not figured out how bad I am at that? Have you guys not done it? I've given you all the indicators that I'm bad at the recipe thing.
Why did you not cut the tips off the carrots?
Because I like them to look crazy on the plate. Because I want them to look cool, that's all. I just kind of want them to look nice. I mean, they're going to go all over the place when we plate this thing. And you got to remember, our starch, whatever, is in the chop. So it's not going to be like I have something to put on the bottom to sit the chop up on, and you'll see it's just the chop and the carrot. So we have to make that look the best. We're also going to do a mushroom sherry sauce tonight, which is easy. By the way, this is genuinely one of the cheapest ways to impress anybody. This bottle of wine, I think it's basically what they call it, a fortified wine. The sherry, you can get dry sherry or cream sherry, is $7.49. And this is basically kind of like a Marsala. It's got a little bit of sweetness to it, but here's what it does. When you mix this stuff with heavy whipping cream, oh, it is so crazy good. This is the best mushroom sauce and simplest thing you'll ever see us make. And you could put it on, bananas. It is so good. Let's go ahead and get our chops cut. We'll go ahead and sear them off. Cast iron hot.
What if you don't eat carrots? What else will go well with this dish?
You know what? We like to roast cauliflower. So basically, if you don't like the carrot thing, if you like, does the guy like cauliflower? I don't know. If you like cauliflower,
Daryl.
The key thing with cauliflower is I saw somebody on Facebook the other day and they put their thing up for cauliflower and it was these giant florets of cauliflower. Take the time to go in with your knife and kind of cut them down so they're smaller. And here's why. The smaller florets get crispier and they actually have more flavor. And if you roast them at like 400 instead of 350, they'll get that great brown on the outside. Just toss them a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper. You get the garlic in there if you want. But when you roast them off on a sheet pan at 400 degrees, they're good for just snacks, man. Because they get this beautiful nutty flavor that is really, really, really good. The reason we want sweet carrots tonight, guys, is because we have a very savory dish. We need a little bit of balance in there, okay? Whole Foods pork chops.
How thick?
These are in the case. They're probably about an inch. I'd like them a little thicker, Ashley. I actually asked him if they had them thicker, and he said no. He called me a horrible name. Just terrible. I'm joking. He did not. They're very, very courteous. He did everything he could to help me. All right. Obviously, when you're butterflying, you have to be careful because this is your knife. So,
what if you don't like vegetables? What else would you recommend?
More meat. Double the pork chops. What? Seriously, dude, are you kidding me? I'll double the pork. All right, take your time. Get down here so you can see where you are, okay? We're going to insert our knife at the top of the chop. And just with a little motion, rocking back and forth, you want to just kind of get started in there.
Yep.
You'll see it just, and look. So as you cut it, you kind of want to just hold it open. All you hunters out there, I know you got some hunters out there. And you can kind of see back here on the chop where your knife is going. All the way to the bone, man. So we got the nice little pocket there. Now, come back under
and work your way so you get a good pocket. Because we want to, you know what? We want to put some stuffing in there, man. This is one of our side dishes. So there you go. Look how that, God, is cast iron not the greatest thing ever? 40 seconds, that thing is smoking, ready to go. Gotta love it. All right, chop cut.
Can you open it?
Huh? Yeah.
Open it and show
Hello. Hey, y'all. Come on down to Gatorland. So, if you'll notice this chop, we got lucky. Look at that piece. That's a big old tenderloin. That's actually a piece of pork tenderloin. So, I don't know why I cut that off there, because we want to make this stuffed chop here. So, we're going to come in here again. Be careful. See, the palm of my hand is completely able to cut. But once you get past that fat cap, which I love, by the way, you'll notice that the actual pork, which is the pork loin, not tenderloin, this part cuts pretty easily. So we get a great, look at that, just a great pocket. That's going to hold like, seriously guys, that's going to hold like 4 ounces of meat, which makes it a nice hearty dish. We're going to leave the tenderloin on this one, and I actually cook that to the side. You guys know how that works out? That part of the chop is the just the loin. This part is the tenderloin, which would be the filet mignon of the pork. That's the pork tenderloin. That's what we made for Mother's Day last week, or a couple weeks ago. Here we go. Make sure our knife gets to the fat cap. Once it gets through, kind of want to see where we are. We come in. Just get down here at eye level, guys. It's worth it.
What kind of knife?
This is a Shun. So you can get these knives at Wassie's Meats. Janice and Frank will give you a great deal. Just tell them I sent you down. They love this show. The good thing about these knives, hand hammered, they stay sharp forever. It doesn't take a lot to get them back. I mean, there's nothing else to love. This is a great knife, and I'll have this knife for a very long time.
They said don't do Savannah again.
What?
Don't do Savannah again.
All right. I don't know why. She's cool.
How do you sharpen your knife?
Okay, I'm glad you guys asked that. There's a common misconception about this machine here.
Stop.
This is not a sharpening knife. This is what they call a straightening knife. So microscopically, if you were to look at that edge right there, obviously it's very sharp, but what you don't see is when you cut, you really don't dull the knife. You take the edge and you bend it a little bit, back and forth, back and forth. This is actually called a straightening steel. It takes the already good edge the knife comes with from the factory, and it actually just kind of realigns the metal and the cutting part. So all you do is you hold it at about this. I know there's an actual angle and a number they want you to hold it at. Obviously not 45, but it's in that like 28 or whatever it is. I'm sure one of the guys will know. And you're basically just dragging across this steel that's corrugated, and you're basically just realigning the steel on the blade. And you'll notice you're really not sharpening a knife. I know that's a common misconception. And I got a guy that texted me last week and said, hey, how often do you sharpen your knives? I'm like, I haven't sharpened this one since I've owned it, and I've had it like 8 months. So I just do this, and the damn thing comes right back to life. So we love these knives just because of the sharpening steel. Boom, there you go. All right. So we're going to season these chops. This is going to be pretty simple, guys, okay? We're not going to do a lot to these chops because the star of the show is inside the chop tonight. We have salt, pepper, all right? No, we're not even going to do that. All right, salt, pepper. A little bit of olive oil, which is here. Which is where? Here we go. Olive oil. We're going to drizzle this. Just a little bit. Back and forth. Over, over, over.
Do you put it on the inside too?
Nope, I do not.
Okay.
And just because I don't want to. I mean, it has nothing to do with the flavor part of it. I just never have done that, to be honest with you. I guess you could if you want. And, salt. Salt both sides while we get this hand dirty. Now you can see how I have a salt bowl. I don't know if you guys do that. We like the salt bowl. Works better. Pepper. It just gives you a better gauge on how much you're putting in there. I'm not a big guy about recipes, and you have to start using kosher salt. I hope you guys use kosher salt and not iodized salt. You're going to get a much better flavor that's not super sharp. That iodized salt has so much sharpness in it that I just find that it doesn't really, it just gives you that weird, almost kind of medicinal flavor, and I just simply do not care for it. So salt, pepper.
Tony Rage said he's on the way.
Tony's the man, dude. Tony's been cooking. Tony Rage. For you guys who don't know who Tony Rage is,
do the Salt Bay.
Salt Bay? Oh. I think my Foreigners are too fat. Don't want to do something.
Stop. Don't. No more.
Okay.
No more.
Okay. I didn't want to do it to begin with. So.
Is PrimeTime aprons for sale?
Yeah, we have go to ptkradio.com. And we're going to have those up. We'll also have the oven mitts. We're going to offer some other stuff and blah, 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 blah. So you can go check it out. All right. So we're going to sear these chops real quick. We're going to do a little bit of olive oil. I was going to do it with some veggie oil. Let's do it with olive oil. Super hot cast iron pan.
Kosher versus sea salt?
Kosher, yeah, see, it's, you know, yeah, you can do it. Sea salt guys are good. I use kosher salt just because it's easy, it's cheap. Hot pan, obviously, I only have this on 8. This cast iron is just so ridiculous. Carrots are roasting real nice. You can smell, my God, Tori, smell that. Come here. Smell the sweetness of these carrots. Isn't that crazy?
It smells delicious.
They just get so sweet. Rice is doing good. You'll get those tunnels. You guys know about the rice tunnels? So when I'm going to show you in a second. Come here for a second, Tori, real quick.
Okay.
So you see how the rice is still kind of building. You see there's plenty of liquid. You can already see these where. So where the bubbles come up, that's called, we just call them like tunnels. And you're going to see when those things start coming up, those tunnels, that liquid will go down, it'll be dry, and those tunnels are kind of an indicator that you're in the good place to be. Chopped in. I'm going to do 2 at a time. Because we have a tiny little pan.
Where'd you get your cast iron from?
This actually came from my mother, but you can get them anywhere, man. You can get them at Old Time Pottery. You can get them at Gander Mountain. Wassie's has a great selection of them, so you can get them anywhere.
Sue said that she loves that you cook electric.
Who?
Sue.
Oh.
Electric.
It's electric. Okay, so, again, we don't mind this high heat. Actually, we want it that way. I probably have a little too much oil on it.
Aprons will be up June 15th, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate that. I'm going to get a little bit of that olive oil out of there. I want to sear. I don't want to deep fry. We want it hot. We don't really want to cook it a whole lot. We just want some color, guys. Because as these things come off, they're going to go on this plate and cool for a second.
What are you drinking?
Hey, everybody. We're drinking Devil's Chair from Red Cypress Brewery out in Winter Springs, Florida. They've been real good to us. They're good people and they brew good beer. We love it. Look at that good color. So that's what we want right there. All right. Plenty raw inside. You can see that, right?
Yep.
That's all we're looking for.
Guys, we'll have hats probably the beginning of July, maybe mid-June as well.
We do have that.
We do have that. Okay.
Roasting away, kids. Roasting away. All right, we have good color. We're good. So those are going to go off to the side to cool for a second so we don't burn our faces off. This is going to go in. Shake that oil where that dry spot is, guys. All right? One pop. Watch. We know it's not going to stick now. You don't need to move it. You don't need to shuffle it. You don't need to do anything else. Leave it alone. Let it sear. I get so many of these guys, they watch on TV and they see the chefs throwing everything around. That's all edited. They're not throwing the food around like every 5 minutes. They want that thing to sit right there and get that beautiful crust like we got on that chop. And the only way to do it is to leave it alone. That goes with your steaks as well.
Do you turn the carrots?
I will turn the carrots. And a little bit, what we'll do is we'll just, honestly, I take my, and just do that and roll them like one roll and that's it. And then they turn right over. And then we'll blast them at the end with the broiler. If we don't have the color we want, we'll just turn the broiler up and just broil the hell out of them until we get them to the color we want.
That's what we're looking for, right?
Actually, it can be a little bit darker. I'm going to get this other side a little bit better.
Yeah.
One shake, we're good.
Okay. Joyce Ann said she's on the way.
Tell Joyce Ann she's welcome anytime.
You're welcome anytime, Joyce Ann. Can you use coconut oil and get the same effect?
You know, somebody asked me that last week, and honestly, I feel remiss that I did not find that out. And then somebody texted me on the Monster Show this week and said they'd watched PrimeTime Kitchen, and they loved the show. But yeah, you could use coconut oil. I haven't. So I don't have really any experience with it, so I really don't know what to tell you. All right, we have the color we want. That's good. Look at that.
That's perfect.
Okay, so we're going to take this set off to the side. We're going to keep that on because that's where we're going to make our sherry cream sauce with mushroom.
Okay.
Okay, these going to cool?
Yep.
on the plate. We're going to put them right there to cool. Look how much space we have. Everybody's going to be happy. They have a nice pork chop. These pork chops probably about, I don't know, 8 to 10 ounces. They're not crazy big. They're not crazy thick. They don't have to be. All right, so come on over.
Okay.
Here's our stuffing that we made earlier. Make sure it's good. That happened to be rib. You know what? Could use a little more salt.
Salt.
A little more salt.
Okay.
Okay, with our hands, this is nice and cool now, so we can handle it. And you can see it looks like a normal stuffing, right? Look at that, nice and raw inside. In we go to the stuffing. Right there on your plate. Again, nice and raw inside. We don't have to worry about that. Everything's cooked great. Nice little pocket. And you know what? To be honest with you, you know your pocket's right when you get about a serving. You can kind of feel, that's probably about a cup. Look how nice and plump that is. That's probably about a cup, maybe a half a cup or so of the stuffing, which is exactly what we want. We want a good stuffing. You know, this is our side dish, guys. We're not doing this for fun. You know, we're doing this because we want to eat. And this is our side dish. So all this stuffing we're going to take, we're going to get it in there. And it turns out that we made perfect enough stuffing to get it in there. Now, sometimes I will stick a toothpick there to keep that in. I'm not going to do that this time because I think we actually cooked the chops pretty darn good, guys. So I think we're going to get away with that. So what we have now is we have our pork chops are ready to go. $25 minutes, $350. All right. In we go. Wow, what are we going to do for 25 minutes?
I don't know.
25 minutes. That's crazy, right? Now we have 25 minutes. Didn't plan this real well. Giant meeting tonight. All right. So here's what we'll do. We're going to go ahead and turn our. Actually, that should be in there. I'll just set this in here to cook. So we have our cutting board. Turn that right over and get a nice clean cutting.
You don't
board.
cover them?
What's that?
You don't cover the pork chops?
No. Don't need to. All right. So.
Beer. What kind of beer?
Oh man. Killing me with the beer, guys.
Beer.
The beer is
Devil's Chair.
Devil's Chair. It's Red Cypress Brewery. Big supporters of our friends Tom and Dan. Matter of fact, I believe they made a beer for the guys. We love them because they brew great beer and they're good people as well. They're in Winter Springs, right off of 434. Not a bad place to grab a beer. And Devil's Chair, I think, is one of their. I believe it's one of their big sellers. It's darn good.
Barb Bergen's on.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Well, it's time for you to go.
Hey, Barb.
So we're going to just dice our onion up the way we dice onions. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this onion we're doing now. And to be honest with you, if I was going to sieve this out, and this sauce kind of should be sieved out because you want it to kind of look elegant on the plate. Remember we were veggies in, veggies out last week, guys, or a couple weeks ago? Tonight we're going to show you how we veggie out. We're going to take the veggies out of this dish because it's got sprigs of thyme, or the sauce. It's got sprigs of thyme. And it's going to be kind of weird because we're going to throw our mushrooms in last, which means we're going to saute them first. And again, when you're cooking, you have to pay attention to when you're making stuff because, like I said, I just put those in. The carrots went in first because they take the longest to cook to get them where I like them. So we're going to cut this garlic down.
Barb said, "Don't be mean."
Oh, come on.
She's a little sensitive today.
She is.
What kind of wine would you pair this dish with?
That's actually a good question. You know, Pinot Noir, believe it or not, a light red.
There you go.
A light red goes with this. You could Pinot Gris. You could do Sauvignon Blanc with this. You don't have to really have. Honestly, you could do just a nice crisp beer with this dish. To be honest with you.
Where can you get Red Cypress?
It's fourth. Oh, you can actually get it anywhere. I got this. Red Cypress at Whole Foods. Publix carries it. I think Winn-Dixie carries it.
Why slice the garlic instead of pressing?
Because I slice garlic. I mean, you could do it either way. So we're gonna make our cream sherry sauce now here with mushrooms. So first things first, we have this is done.
They said Merlot too?
Merlot, I guess, would be, it's a little, I think Merlot is a little too full-bodied for pork.
Yeah.
I don't think I would do that, but you could. So we're gonna saute these mushrooms first. Here's why. because we're going to reintroduce these mushrooms in. But what we want to do is sieve our sauce out first. So all we want is this beautiful creamy sauce with mushrooms. We don't want the sprigs of thyme. We don't want the onion or garlic. That's just for flavor.
They said the vertical stripes were a good option for your apron.
And tell me, Tora, why would they say that?
I don't know, babe.
No. I need you. I need you to tell me why they say that. I need you to defend me.
It's elongating. I don't know.
I'm sorry, it's a what?
It'll make you look longer.
But why would I need to do that? I mean, is there?
Oh, Sierra's a hungry veteran.
Sierra's a hungry veteran?
That's what she said.
Is that her pickup line? I'm Sierra. I'm a veteran. I am hungry.
It makes you look taller, babe.
Stop it.
That's what they said. Greg said taller.
You're the worst people that ever lived.
Rob said we're being cruel.
You're not going to eat that delicious coconut rice from being in
I am.
cold.
I will.
Okay. Come here. These mushrooms. You're drunk, by the way.
Maybe a little.
Not a good look.
It's fine.
So we're going to saute these mushrooms down. We want them to wilt a little bit. So we're going to take a few minutes and do this.
Jimmy, they went to hire you for their wedding to be their cook.
I'm not that good.
No?
No, I'm not. Really not. This is all fake. This is all some other guy
It's
doing
not
this.
fake, honey. What are you talking about?
Oh, I love cast iron, man. Look how hot that is. It would take me a week to get my composite or my alloy cookware up to that hot. And these beautiful mushrooms, you can see them. They get that thing where that part turns nice and brown.
Tony Rage said the apron makes you look like a food referee.
I don't want to give him credit for that being funny. I don't. The problem with Tony Rage
That is so good.
The problem with Tony Rage is he's so talented. The guy can do like anything. Takes great pictures. He can paint. He skateboards. He's a guitar player.
He needs to rebuild his house.
Rebuilds his house.
Yeah.
God. Like living in a mud hut like 4 years ago.
They want to know if you'll do a guest cooking spot in someone's house.
Actually, it's funny. I have an idea that we're going to do a contest for PrimeTime. And one of the contest thing is, if you win, Tori and I will come over to your house. We'll bring everything. We'll cook us all dinner tonight. We'll just hang out. Or maybe we'll open it up for a bunch of people. So, you know, I think that's a cool idea. I'd love to do that. I love cooking for people. I don't have any problem with it. I love it. It's fun. All right, move. Here, my way.
No, don't be nasty.
Sure.
Don't be nasty. I won't film your face anymore.
Oh, that's a favor. All right. So our mushrooms are done. Look how that. Do you see how that cast iron acts like Teflon when you get it good and hot and you season it right? That's when you know you've done it right. Boy, we got a lot of smoke in the house right now.
It's fine.
All right. Olive oil back in the pan we just came out of.
Yep.
We're building our sauce now. Onion, garlic. Then we go. Okay. Let me get over there. Okay. Onion, garlic. Turn this down a little bit. Let's go.
What city and state are we in?
What's that?
We're in Maitland, Florida. Sierra.
That residual heat from the pan will literally cook these things for the rest. Look how hot that thing gets. Gotta be the best ever.
40 years ago, there was a cooking minister on TV, and he wore an apron like that. I love that, Peggy. Shout out.
God said, God. God. All right. We're going to deglaze these onions.
Hey, they told you to be nice to me.
Stop.
Yep.
Okay, dry sherry in. Let's do a half a cup to a cup of dry sherry, depending how much sauce you want. We're gonna let that cook down. As it's cooking down,
We probably need to change the batteries in the smoke alarm.
why is that? Oh,
Because that hasn't gone off yet.
We'd be dead right now. Chicken stock, half a cup.
Yep.
And what that'll do is this. Okay, this is important. Okay, look here. So when you start building sauces, here's what you gotta really think about. Because when you start building sauces, you can do them with a roux, or you can cook down stock, or cook down wine, or juice, or whatever. Add cream, add herbs, however you want to do it. The key is this, man. When you start cooking wine down that's already sweet, you have to be very careful because it will get real sweet. Like if I cook that sherry down, it turns it... You turn on the fan.
The whole house fan.
Oh, this only happens to me, by the way.
Hey, there's the smoke alarm.
See, this show is real, dude. Like, we could die. I mean, we could literally die right here in this kitchen. Turn your volume down. By the way, this is the soundtrack of my life. So, we have to get that off, right?
Well,
Turn that off.
how do you turn it off?
You can reset it, right? Hold on. Follow me. Oh, that's a safety. Oh, no. Oh.
It's that alarm.
That's the safe touch system. That safe touch is alarm going off. So we're going to get a call in a second.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So, we're going to add cream. All right, cream into our sauce.
Yep.
That's probably about, I don't know, 2 tablespoons.
Yep.
You were freaking out when we got the alarm off.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So cream sauce is cooking down.
Yep.
So you'll see what happens is what we're doing is we're using these veggies to get all the flavor that we can get out of the veggies into the cream, into the wine, into the chicken stock. And then when we pull this off, we'll sieve it out, and then we'll add the mushrooms. And it looks like our sticky rice is actually doing pretty well too. So we're all set for that. So when dessert comes, it's good. So we'll get our sieve, which is here. We're going to get a little bowl. You know what? It doesn't really need to be anything other than just a simple bowl like this. Because really all you're doing is you're just catching the sauce and you're going to reintroduce it into the mushrooms. And then we're just going to ladle it over the pork chops and roll it in.
Perfect.
See how I got that? It's this cast iron, man. This stuff, it just smokes crazy. It gets so hot, man. And we don't have the fan on because you can't hear anything when we turn the fan on, so all the smoke went in the house. Alright, so let's get those mushrooms and onions out of there. We don't need that.
Okay.
So we'll get all the flavor out of it anyway. So if you'll notice, there. See that? So look at that beautiful sauce. Watch out, what's that?
Okay.
Alright. So that's going to go back in there. We'll take our spoon and we're going to press. Look, we want every little bit. That's all usable stuff right there. We want all of that, man. Okay, that's good. So we just discard that. This goes back into our pan.
Okay.
And believe it or not, oh man. Man, that's great. A little salt. Okay. Mushrooms back in. And the cool thing about this, once we get to this point, let's say, well, I've cooked that down. It's not sweet enough for me, or if I cooked it down and it doesn't look exactly like I want. Now that we have like all the flavor from the veggies cooked out, we can do whatever we. Grab some thyme, because since we have thyme in the dish, a couple sprigs of thyme.
What is that you're holding it in?
This is a little herb. Tori got me this little herb thing. It actually increases the life of your herbs, like literally by triple. I mean, it's ridiculous. It really is. We're gonna do a little bit more cream in. So we're gonna cook this in a little bit more. Put a little bit more chicken stock in. Not a whole lot. And you notice, guys, notice how we're doing this on the fly. The great thing about learning this technique like this is you can just kind of, let's say your pork's not done yet, but you think your sauce is too done. Well, add a little chicken stock to it, keep cooking it. Or turn it down, add a little chicken stock, and as it sweats out, it'll give you the consistency you want. You'll notice that went right back. Now, when we cook that down, we're almost set to go. Look at our chops. Right here, baby. Look at our chops. So our chops get that beautiful crust. Now, if you'll notice, our stuffing is getting that crust that we want. And you can actually feel those are almost done already. All right?
Yep.
So we're going to let those cook a couple more seconds.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead and roll our carrots, like our person said.
Okay.
Do. Okay. Look at that. Crazy, huh? Look at that beautiful brown color, guys. That's just caramelizing the honey that we used, and the heat and the natural sugar from the carrots are giving that beautiful brown color. Now, what you can't tell is that's actually crispy. A little bit crispy. Look at that beautiful brown color there. That's the magic of roasting vegetables. Man, there's just nothing like it. So, now those literally can stay in there until the pork is done. This sauce is done. So we want to get our thyme out of there.
Okay.
So just move that thyme out. We don't really need it. We just want the flavor from the leaves to cook out. Off that goes.
Carlos is on.
Hey, Carlos. Love Los. Movie stars.
We got movie stars.
Straight up movie star, man. Watching the show. The guy gets movie stars to call. He's a movie star. Everybody's a movie star.
Can we see the rice?
Yeah. You'll see the columns. A little bit. See the little holes? You can see where it's kind of coming up. It'll cook more though. And this is the, by the way, if you're just logging on, so what we're doing for dessert tonight, so we're doing a sticky sweet coconut rice. It's like a Thai dish, right? And we're basically going to mold that. It turns out like a pudding, which is awesome. And we're just going to do honey mango. We're going to do a little bitty coconut sauce, which is super simple. We can actually make that now. We can start this. Nah, we'll wait because it doesn't take any time. So when you go to thicken the coconut milk, we found that when you start cooking coconut milk down, it turns this gray color, which does not look good on the plate. So when you put this coconut milk in, I'll show you in a minute, what we want to do is save a little bit of the coconut milk back, and we're going to mix some cornstarch and make what they call a slurry. We'll introduce the slurry into the hot coconut milk, and it'll thicken right up and give us that beautiful sauce consistency we want.
Okay.
We're also going to top this dish, this coconut milk, we're going to top it with roasted coconut. So to do so, little flake, bakers, I just got it, no big deal. See how easy this stuff is, guys? It's so easy.
Hey, Angel has a mango tree. That's
Does he
awesome.
really?
No, well, it's a girl.
He has to, right? Because he's Spanish?
It's a girl.
Oh.
It's a girl, and I don't think she's Spanish. Her last name is Bordeaux.
Okay. I'm going to go out on a limb and say not true. By the way, guys, this...
That beer?
Can't say enough. Pretty darn good. Our pork is done.
The pork is done.
Da 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 da! Pork is done! What's over there?
Okay.
Coming your way.
Yeah.
Oh, nice to come out nice and brown, crispy.
Yep.
So our pork is done.
Yep.
Our sauce is done.
Yep.
So we can really plate that dish now. So we're going to let that cool off for a few minutes.
Okay.
And we're going to throw our coconut in to toast it.
Okay.
Our carrots are going to take us a few more minutes because I want them nice and crispy on that outside. Then we're going to plate this baby up. Some simple plating.
Yep.
Show you exactly what you need.
Okay. More time?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Oh, sage.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Okay.
We'll garnish with sage.
Okay.
All right. So our cream sauce is done.
Is it good?
That sucks. Carrots are really good. You know, honestly. Oh yeah, those fools are done. Let's get them out.
Okay.
Is everybody's liking that? Does it look okay to everybody, or how are they reacting?
Somebody asked how you felt about the Bud Light margaritas.
I don't speak that. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't speak that.
Angel loves our plates. Everything. Carlos said it looks yummy. Michael said it looks yummy. Michael Quinn said it. Damn, that looks good.
Okay.
Lori said amazing.
I want to make sure everybody's happy. Everybody, because I'm down with the kids.
Somebody, Dominic said that he was going to watch reruns of The Office, but now he found us.
Well, tell him thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Honey mango.
Okay.
All right. Honey mango.
What kind of mangoes are those?
Honey mango.
Yep.
You can also use champagne mango.
Okay. Where are you going?
Looking for my potato peeler,
Okay.
but somebody has put it in the wrong spot.
Not me.
Come on, dude. You kidding me?
You used it last night.
Baby,
It's probably in the sink.
it better not be in the sink. All right, well, we'll do it with a paring knife,
Okay. Paring knife.
which I do not have in front of me.
Oh no, the cops are here.
Go out there. Go out there.
The fire alarm went off. Hi. You're on Facebook Live. Say hi.
Hello.
Sorry, it's we turned it off. Thank you.
So sorry.
Thank you. Oh my god, that's so funny. Hey babe, Safe Touch works.
Yeah. All right, so we're peeling this. I suggest not doing it with this thing because this thing could cut your.
Carlos said you better hide the meth. The cops are here.
Uh-oh. Busted. All right, so this is a honey mango. They're a little bit smaller than the normal mangoes. Here's what I suggest. So, here's what I've learned for sure about the organic thing. Mangoes are a must organic. You cannot skip on mangoes that aren't organic. You just can't do it. There's the difference in the texture, the difference in everything is so much. It's not even worth talking about. I mean, honestly, this thing is like ice cream compared to eating a rice cake. That's what the difference is. All right, let's plate this dish real quick.
Okay. We're ready.
Okay, carrot. So we have our we're gonna do a little purple.
Oh man, somebody wants you to just cook in the apron.
Stop. We
That's
have
what they said.
right.
Okay.
I love when these things look. Look at that. Crazy. Maybe a little much. Let's do that. Let's pinch it. We have the power.
Okay.
Okay. Take our best one chop here. This is here. We have our sherry cream sauce with mushrooms. There you go, guys. A little sage. We'll top it with a little sage as a little garnish. And what you have here, look here. So what you have here is stuffed pork chops. It's stuffed with breadcrumbs, mushrooms. All right. You have onion, you have garlic, all the good stuff in there. Fresh thyme, fresh sage. All we did was roast those carrots with honey and a little bit of salt. That's all it is. 400. Get them crispy. Turn them one time. Cook them a little bit more. We just pose that on top of a little bed of those carrots. And you have a great looking professional dish that you can serve to friends and family. And it's healthy. And it tastes good. Everything on that plate is delicious. That sauce is crazy good. All right, so now, dinner's done. By the way, that's hot.
You burn yourself every time you cook. I think it's amazing.
Secret dessert.
This is the best dessert in the entire world.
Check this out.
Toasted coconut. Delicious. Mm-hmm.
Honey mango. Now you're gonna hit that pit. Just turn the mango until you find the spot where the meat is sweet. You go hit it there. Just hit it.
Yep.
Just hit it. And that means we're gonna have a nice big slice on the side here, which we did. Look how beautiful that is. My daughter will consume this like a shark. So what we have is, now this is gonna be really hot. We're not gonna be able to eat it right now. I'm just doing this to show you what it looks like. So what we would do is, to form this, we'd grab one of our measuring cups. We'll use half a cup this time because whatever. And look at this. Look at it. You just get this pudding. Look at that.
Oh, that looks... Good job, babe. That's a good one.
So, also, front, while this cools will be great. So what they do is when they serve it, they'll actually cut it and they'll do some shapes. We don't have enough mango to do that, so we're going to do this. So what you do is you do little slices there. Remember, it's not rocket science. But you do want it to look good. Actually, that piece probably should be in the middle.
Okay.
So we're going to do that right there.
Yeah.
All right. Now, this is the sauce I was telling you guys about that we're going to make. And it's real easy. So we have the remainder of our coconut milk,
Yeah.
which is there, right? So we're going to pour a little bit in there.
Yeah.
We're going to leave a little bit out.
All right.
And in that little bit, we're going to take cornstarch. This is one of the most important little tricks of cooking. We're making a slurry, cornstarch in, probably about half a teaspoon. Stir it right in the can, guys. You don't need to do anything else. Right in the can. Just get it mixed up.
Okay.
Cornstarch is like, imagine making a roux on like the craziest roux you've ever made in your life. So this milk will come up to speed. Oh, that coconut.
Good?
You tell me.
Thank you.
Is that sure?
Oh, hot.
Let's throw this right in.
Mm-hmm. Tyler's phone's on for 4%, and he would appreciate if you'd hurry up.
Almost done. Sugar. This is the sauce. So we need to make it a little sweeter, right? By the way, that sweetened coconut, that's going to add some sweetness as well. So what's going to happen is, that's going to cook, that's going to get up to heat. When that heats up, immediately what's going to happen is that cornstarch is going to start coagulating. In other words, it starts thickening like crazy. And you're really going to have, it takes that normal coconut milk to a beautiful little sauce. So basically how we would plate that is this, because that way we can get you guys out of here, because I'm ready to be done too. How's that? So you would take your sauce, it's going to thicken.
Okay.
Right over the coconut milk, right over that. All right. Nice little pool of sauce, right on a little bit on your rice. Make sure it soaks in there.
Perfect.
And after that,
and cherry. That looks delicious. Totally skipping dinner tonight. There you go. That's my favorite dessert.
all right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is episode 3 of PrimeTime Kitchen's How Tuesdays. Every single Tuesday night, we'll be right here at 7 o'clock cooking for you guys, showing you about how to make great meals for your family, make them look good, and make them super healthy. Here's what I need from you guys if you don't mind. We have a couple things we'd like to do. PTKradio.com, that's our new website. It has all the merch we have. We also load the shows up there. We have tons of cool stuff coming there. You're going to be able to get Heather's cookbooks there soon, some other stuff as well. We're going to have an events calendar so you can check in on when we're doing the show live. By the way, the next live show is June 14th at Marlowe's, Lee Vista. Here's why you need to know that. Because it's limited seating, so you want to book as quickly as possible. You already have like 35 or 40 people going. I think the room's going to sit right around 150 or so grab your tickets. Meeting with the chefs Thursday to build that menu, and I really can't wait. They're giant fans, and we really want to create some magical stuff. One of our best ones, believe it or not, the very first one we did at Marlowe's Winter Park, so we're looking forward to that. On Twitter, it's PrimeTime Kitchen. You can't miss it. It's actually at PTK Real Radio. On Instagram, it's PrimeTime Kitchen, and on Facebook, of course, PrimeTime Kitchen. PrimeTime is one word, and if you don't mind, we're begging, a little bit begging, share the video, please. That way we can get as many people watching as possible and keep this going as long as we possibly can. Also, if you have suggestions, I did get a couple of email last week, which I love. It's primetimekitchen@gmail.com. Send over your requests, send over your ideas. We love it all. We want to make sure that you guys are getting everything you need as an audience, and we certainly do appreciate you tuning in and spending some time with us. This is the 3rd episode. We'll see you next time for PrimeTime Kitchen's How Tuesdays.
Yay, let's eat.